Hey, Shalom. Shalom, first and foremost. Call halal. Call halal yamla. Yahweh Bashem. El Shai Bashem. Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. All right. Peace and mercy to the elect that's doing the work of Yahweh Bashem. El Shai in truth and sincerity. Peace be unto you, man. And I'm just going through, certain things through the spirit that I'm seeing. As always, I put my spin on it, my 2 cents on it. And I was watching this video from the other apostle Tahar entitled based upon Sirach 7:25, and I'm gonna read it here because his video was short and brief, about 5 minutes. Okay, and just gonna land back on it. The scriptures speak about a skillful man will add on to a wise word. Skillful man will add on to it. So it says Sirach 27:25. I'm gonna start at verse 23. It says, "Has thou children, instruct them, and bow down their neck from the youth." Okay, so we bow down the neck from the time that the child is a young child. You got to train them up in the right way. Okay. Okay, it says, bow down their neck from their youth. Hast thou daughters, take care of their body, and show not thyself cheerful toward them. All right. So if you have a daughter, for instance, right? So if you have a daughter, for instance, you're supposed to watch over her, man, lest she destroy herself with over much liberty. You're supposed to watch over her, take care of her. Make sure she's good. Okay, because there's a lot of predators out here. Sexual predators, man. The boy, you gotta watch out for the boy too. But eventually, when a boy gets to a certain age, he can fend for himself. But a woman is always at risk, all right, of being taken, being touched, being sex trafficked and shit like that. Man, then it's totally two different ball games, man. Woman's always at risk, especially being young. All right, is always at risk. She's always at risk being taken, being snatched up. You know, especially start looking good. Developing. Women at risk of being, touched, man. Taken. All right. So with that being said, it says here in verse 25 says, "Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter." Right. So you marry your daughter. You performed a weighty matter. Okay. That's a big responsibility of a father to make sure his daughter is taken care of. That's one of the things that take away sleep from the father. If my daughter is she getting abused? Is she with another guy? You know what I mean? Is she getting abused? Is she with another dude? Or is she in the right hands? Like, what's going on with her? A true father really gonna love his daughter like that. It's like an extension of himself. The son, obviously you love the son, but the daughter, always the father's always closer to the daughter, and the daughter's always closer to her daddy. Because it's just how the way we was created. All right, wired, if you will. Okay, that's usually always how it goes. Especially in this society, but for the most part, that's kind of how things go. All right. So it says, "But give her." Let me read that again. Sirach 7:25. "Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter." It says, "But give her unto a man of understanding." So you're supposed to give your daughter unto a man of understanding, a man that's in his truth. All right. If for instance, speak for myself, all right, because that's the only one I can really speak for. And in my eyes, if I had a daughter and she came of age and a man wants to deal with her, you meet the man, you vet the man, you go into it, with him about, uh, really you're supposed to go into him with about the scriptures. If that man's a man of understanding, if he's a good man, a stand-up man of a report, he's proven himself to be a good dude, be a good brother, take care of his business and shit like that, you know, then I would have no problem with that man, you know, taking my daughter as a wife. Should be taken care of. You know what I mean? It's not about, really, it's really not about her say so. It's about you and that man's agreement. That's in the scriptures. You're gonna take care of my daughter and you're gonna love her, you know, and you're gonna she's gonna be yours. Okay. And then the contract would be made between them, and then he would require a wife and you would acquire monetary compensation or whatever the case may be. And obviously you would still see each other or whatnot. And he would become a part of the family and whatnot. And then, the family would increase, right? And they bring forth their union, would bring forth children, and things would be done decently and in order. But in this society, in this modern fucked up world that we live in, that's seen as some type of tyranny. That's seen as some type of, some type of disrespect or some along those lines. A man, have taken possession of his daughter, taking possession of a man giving his daughter into the possession of another man, which is actually a righteous act, man, because, look at what happens in these situations in modern day marriages and, all this different shit. These women, they choose their men and they typically never end up with a guy that they first laid eyes on and they had, they got together and they start touching on each other and they end up banging. And then, the girl ends up pregnant, whatever the case may be. And then here it is, either they're having an abortion or the child is growing up in a less than ideal circumstances, you know, getting shipped from fucking North Carolina to California and back and forth. And this weekend I might see you, the other weekend I don't see you. And, they're fighting, the fucking families are fighting in front of each other and all this different shit, just all kind of dysfunction. And they see that dysfunction happen from a young age, which destroys their fucking minds. So they don't even know what a stable, loving so-called, relationship is, man. They see something, like, something like that, two parents in the house, a father, a actual man, not a homosexual, but a man, a woman, her tending to the kids and all that, doing her womanly duties, right? They see them kind of things and they shit is weird. They're like, what the fuck? That is weird to these people in this world, man. That's strange onto them. It's like, what the fuck is going on? What is this? Why these people are weird? Why are they behaving like this? You know what I mean? So yeah, with that being said, man, there's a lot of shit that needs to be rectified, man, in this society. All right. Okay, hold on, give me 1 second. Okay. It's like it, man. I just had to touch something up. Okay. There's a lot of things that need to be rectified, man. That's why the Lord has to come back and bring order, restore order upon the planet Earth, man, because too much disorder, too much chaos, too much broken homes and fatherless children and you know, widows and uh, bad mothers, bad fathers, you know. All right. There's a lot of just chaos going on, man. A lot of just a lot of mishaps, man. A lot of mistakes, a lot of just 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 bad shit going on, man. Especially amongst our people. All right, especially amongst our people, because we're supposed to be the greatest people on earth. And here it is, we're in a fucked up ass condition where we're suffering. Okay, we are suffering, man, as a people. So with that being said, we need the Lord Yahushua to return, so that things could go back to the way they're supposed to be. You know, just for instance, on a carnal level, just take it on a carnal level, man. Right? You as a man, you as a young man coming up in the world, right? You get any woman, you know, she's probably been with other men most of the time. She's been with other men, multiple other men. She done seen multiple digging sticks, different sizes. You know what I'm saying? She's been on all these different little positions. You know, she done got her back blown out. She done blown all kind of rod. She probably done been with women too. She done all kind of shit, right? So by the time you get on her, you got to deal with all that shit. Then you got to deal with whether or not she has a child or not. Children. Exes, uh, demons from childhood, right? Maybe she got touched, maybe she didn't, maybe whatever. She may or may not have had diseases or shit like that, man. Pop up in her life. And now that's affecting you. You know, all these different kind of things, right? So it all becomes a burden. You know, the modern woman is more trouble than she's worth, because the reason why that is because they were not taught how to be women in a home, because their mother wasn't really a woman, and then their father wasn't there, or if he was there, he was some absentee nigga, or he was an absentee nigga, or he just wasn't really there all the way. Obviously, in the head, he's not there. He's not looking at this as, this is my daughter. I have to train her up so that another man, what I'm saying, when he comes along, his life is not ruined behind her. He has a good wife. He has a good woman that she doesn't bring me a bad report. You know what I mean? That she doesn't cause confusion, or all this kind of different shit, because not only is the woman, not only is she affecting her husband, but she's actually affecting everyone around her, the nation. She's affecting other women, with her bad behavior. She's bringing about, what I'm saying, all kind of just different disorder, because with one bad apple spoils the bunch. If you trained your daughter up the right way when she was at the house, or your daughter, your son, but mainly we're dealing with the daughters right now, because that's what the elders video was about, right? And the scriptures going into that, it doesn't necessarily tell you to keep that same kind of eye over your son, because they're two different distinct um they're two different distinct, totally different worlds. All right, you got to watch out for, in this world, you got to watch out for the son being a homosexual, or a little body however Jamaica be saying, these little batty boys and all this different shit. These little sweet kids, you got to watch out that they don't become like that. You got to train them up a different way. The little boy child not gonna go hoe himself out. He's gonna do different things. He might, pop a lot of different women, get involved with the law and all these different things. You gotta keep a watchful eye over him too, but in a different sense. All right. And as you grow up, you start to see these things, right? You start to take these things more into consideration than you would when you were when you were a younger man, because you didn't see things in a broad in a grand scale of things, right? Our nation is destroyed from the top to the bottom, starting with the men. But if you want to know the state of a nation and how they're doing, just look at their women. You know, just look at their women and look how their women are doing. Look how their women are dressing themselves, presenting themselves in the street. How look at their marriage rates. You know, how long they stay married to their husbands and shit like that. You know, a single parent household and all this different shit. All right, these are things that you got to consider when you look at the state of a nation. Look at the state of a people. You know, these are the things that you have to consider. When you consider these things, then you come to the conclusion that this people is destroyed. Because who's raising these children? You know, Big Shirley. Big Shirley's raising the children. All right, Big Shirley's raising the kiddos. Okay, Guadalupe, you know, the witch, the Virgin, you know, the Virgin Mary. These are the ones that's raising the children. TikTok's raising the children. Um, freaking TikTok, fucking all these different little websites and all these little games that, you know, Roblox, all this different shit. That's what's raising these little new generation. All right. Pornhub, that's raising these children too. You know, hell, you know, even our generation, we was exposed to all that shit, and it really destroyed our minds at an early age. You know, that nice, innocent, sweet, uh, you know, time that I was a child. I remember when I first started watching pornography and all that shit. It changed my mind. It totally rewired my brain. I started to look at, you know, women and shit like that. I started to, like, you know, be more promiscuous, if you will. You know, just get involved with different, you know, just shit that, you know, wasn't me at that age, right? Because you're exposed to different things. You know, now you're around these different people that are talking about different stuff. You know what I mean? It's just a totally different environment. You know, and these children nowadays, they're growing up way too quick, seeing way too many things. They have access to way too many different things, man. They have access to way too many different things, and they're just getting their brain just polluted, you know, by all these different things that we see. Just why we need the king, all right? Because here it is, you know, you may try to do the right thing, but Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the devil, he'll plague the internet and the school system and all these different things with just filth and nonsense, man. You know, he'll fill all these different places, you know, with just dirt, man. And his main target is the children. That's his main target because he wants to fuck up the minds of these children because he knows that they're coming up. So you could program them, you know, because they don't know no better. They don't know that, oh, two women dealing with each other, that's off. You know, two men dealing with each other, that's off. You know, this whole Modern Family bullshit. You know, two you know, these things are off, man. These things are wicked. All right, a man cross dressing, that's off. You know, a man, a woman wearing that which pertains unto a man. You know, walking around dyking and all this different shit. That's off. You know, getting a bunch of tattoos, that's off. Wearing long fucking hair, that's off. They're not being trained in the ways of the truth. They're not being trained in the ways of you know, of Yahweh Shem Hashai. They're not getting that treatment. They're not getting that. They're not receiving that knowledge, that wisdom, that understanding. They're not getting trained in pure the pure ways. You know, okay, and because the scriptures say, you know, that's what we're supposed to be teaching our people, especially the children. But the children in this society, they get fucked. They get fucked in the brain, man, at an early age. Like I said, even our generation, going back to the us that were born in the '90s, '80s, '90s, and shit like that. You know, that's when they started to like really put out them, put everything out full force, man. Not that they didn't do it before, but that's when you really had the internet pop off, and the internet that was a big catalyst, if you will, to what we see today. That was a huge turning point, like in wickedness, man. Because you know, at the same time, the internet was set up for the truth to come out, but also a lot of other shit came out that did a number on our people and the world in general. But at the end of the day, we know that we're living in evil times, so that these things must come. You know, these things must happen. Because all the prophecies have to be fulfilled. Even the ones that may have been seen as so-called negative. Right? Like for instance, the love of many waxing cold. You know, men should be lovers of their own selves. Boasters, proud, heady, high-minded. Those are still prophecies that have been fulfilled to this day. And we get to see the detrimental effects that these things have on the society, on the people, on the world, but mainly our people, because that's the ones um, that we're dealing with now, man. All right. It says Proverbs 22:6. Let me start at 5. It says, matter of fact, Proverbs 22:3. It says, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished." So the reason why the Lord's about to destroy America and leave 2/3 of our people here and destroy all you wicked niggas that's not right. You know what I mean? It's because you see the evil and you don't hide yourself. We hiding ourselves in the shadow of the Almighty, Psalms the 91st chapter, right? But you see the evil, and you being simple as you are, you don't take heed to it. You don't repent. You don't get right. You know. It says, "But the simple pass on and are punished. By humility and the fear of the Lord are riches, honor, and life. Thorns and snares are on the way of the forward, and he that doeth keep his soul shall be far from them, from the thorns and the snares that's set up in this world." There's a lot of things that's set up to make you fall, right? And if you're not a strong-minded man, or woman, in that case, okay, if you're not really rooted and grounded, built up in this truth, and you're not really, you will fall. You will fall into the snare of the devil. You will fall into the snare of the so-called white man. You will fall to your own shortcomings in your flesh and all that shit, right? You will slip. You will slip, okay? But he that keepeth his soul shall be far from him. It says, "Train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." Right? Just train up the child in the way that he should go, and when he is older, he will not depart from it. You're supposed to train up the child, man. You're supposed to teach him right from wrong, and 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 if you've taught him correctly, he was not going to go aside from that way, aside from the way of truth. Now, if he goes off on his own, he does his own thing, becomes a demon, and reprobate, the Lord's going to judge his ass. But the Lord's going to have counted to you as righteousness, that you did the right thing. You taught your child, what I'm saying, what it's supposed to be. And eventually they're going to come and they're going to say, "Yeah, Dad, you was right. Yeah, you was right. You was this, you was that, you was on point." Yeah. Eventually they're going to have to come and say that, whether it's the hard way or whether they have to learn by the hard way or the easy way, just by listening, man. Because we're all stubborn and hard-headed, man. We don't listen. Something's getting told to you and you don't take heed, man, and then you end up paying for it, later on. You end up suffering. You end up catching hell. You end up, without. You end up losing because you didn't take heed to the message. But at the end of the day, it's all the Lord's will, man. Whatever happens, it is of the Lord, and you put it in the Lord's hands. You put all these things in the Lord's hands, man, and you hope that that the Lord has mercy on us, because we're all falling into the hands of the Lord, you know. But as far as the children not as concerned, it's very difficult, especially here. This is why we're not in the time of having like 17 children, doing all this different shit, living it up. We're not in these times, man. We're not in those times. We're not in the time. Matter of fact, the Lord told the people that were fleeing from Roman persecution 70 AD, he told them, woe to you that give suck in those days. Woe to you that give suck in those days, man. Woe to you that are with child, man. Because you're gonna be running from the Roman centurions. You're gonna be, getting persecuted. You're gonna have a rough time, man. So it's something to think about, man. Something to think about. It's gonna be another burden. It's gonna be another mouth to feed. It's gonna be another. It's a lot of things you have to have, like stability, to have children and all that shit. Right now, we're not in the kingdom. We're not well off. We don't have servants to take care of our children and all this different shit. We don't have, it's just not. It's not the time to be having, getting all these children. It's just not expedient, man. I personally wouldn't want, my child growing up around all this faggotry, around all this bullshit, around all this wickedness. And then you gotta fight with the mama, and the mama ain't right, and then, what I'm saying, she tried to take the child from you, and all this different shit, and she tries to tell you that blah blah, and hooty hoo, whip the woo, and it's just a big ass problem. Then Esau gets involved, and you gotta pay child support and all this different shit. This is why, for the most part, you brothers, if you got a woman, Lord blessed you with, she could shut her mouth and keep her legs closed. She does right by you, and she, then deal with her. But other than that, just focus on yourself, man. Other than that, just focus on yourself, man. Just focus on yourself, man. Like Hoodville said, just focus on yourself, King. Okay. Scripture say in Proverbs 31, right? And 3 it says, give not that strength unto women. All right. Proverbs 31 and verse 3 it says, give not that strength unto women, nor that ways to that which destroyeth kings. So you're not supposed to give your strength unto her, man. You're not supposed to give your strength unto her. She's supposed to give herself unto you. She's supposed to do what you tell her. Okay. She's supposed to chase you. She's supposed to go after you. So give not your strength unto her, man. Okay. She's supposed to be crazy in love with you. Not saying that you don't love your woman, but just be wise, man. Just be wise, man. Don't be don't be dumb. Don't be a simp. Know when to draw the line. Know when to walk away. That's another piece of advice. Learn when to walk away. And it's not easy. It's complicated, man, because that's how these so-called modern day relationships are. Shit's is complicated. You know what I'm saying? You get all of your emotions, your feelings, and all that different shit. And this is why the man's supposed to lead the relationship, not the fucking woman. If the woman led the relationship, the shit would last like 2 weeks at most. She's not supposed to she's not supposed to be leading shit. She can't even lead herself. How is she gonna lead you? She needs to be led. She needs to be guided. Because women are just like children, right? They need that guidance. They need that order, that structure, that leadership. The scriptures say, "I suffer not a woman to teach, but to be in silence." A lot of you women, you can't be in silence, man. You can't be under the rule of a man. Saying Genesis 3:16 says, "Thy desire shall be towards thy husband, and he shall rule over you." He's gonna rule over you, man. He's gonna have the dominion over you. Your desire shall be towards thy husband. He shall rule over you, man. He shall be over you. You know, he's gonna tell you what to do. He's gonna tell you what not to do. You know, he's gonna have the say so on you. You know, he's gonna do. He's gonna be your Lord. That's why Sarah called Abraham Lord. Because back then the women, they knew order, they knew structure, they knew how to have respect and shut the fuck up. You know, all these fucking fire breathing dragons. They don't know how to shut the fuck up. They don't know how to shut their fucking mouth or their legs. You know, they're always fucking open to everybody. Scripture says she'll open her arrow to every quiver. Sirach 26, right? She'll open her arrow to every quiver. She'll bust that shit wide open. You know. You know, that's the modern day woman. She's on the internet naked. She's outside. She's outside walking around naked, butt ass naked. You know, she's showing herself butt ass naked. She's she's saying she's out of order. She's out of order, man. You know, when the machine says out of order, it means it doesn't fucking work. It's not working in proper order. All right, all subjection. A woman's supposed to be in subjection to her husband, to her Lord. You know what I mean? She's supposed to be in subjection, man. Okay. It says First Timothy chapter 10, chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, but which becometh godliness. Matter of fact, let me start at verse 9. In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broidered hair or gold or pearls or costly array, but that which becometh women professing godliness with good works. Okay, it says, let the women learn in silence, meaning shut the fuck up, man. Shut your mouth. You shouldn't be telling no man what to do, what he should or shouldn't do. Even if the guy's going off, you let another man handle that. You know, you sitting there trying to rebuke men and all this different shit in public and shit like that, and trying to tell them what they should and shouldn't be doing. Who the fuck are you? You shouldn't be. You should. That's not your place. Learn your motherfucking place, man. This is what's wrong with you women. You don't know your fucking place, man. You act like you on the same level. They're the same as you. You know. You could tell a man what to do, man. Yeah, I know better than you don't know no better than a man. I'm sorry to say this, but you don't. I don't care how fucking smart you think you is. You're not gonna be on the level of a man. I'm sorry to say this, even though, yeah, some of these niggas ain't right, and yeah, they're gone. You can say what you want to say and blah blah, hit this and that. But at the end of the day, you are not on a level to be telling men what they should or shouldn't be doing. All right, how they should or should be conducting themselves according to the scriptures. You know, because most of the time, you know, the woman ain't even right herself. So how could she be telling, you know, the man how what he should be doing, nitpicking and shit? You know. Now there are examples in the scriptures. Like you'll go to Susanna, but Susanna was getting molested. So Susanna, they were lying on her. But at the end of the day, with the whole Susanna situation, they had to go to the men to get the approval. To get the they had to go to the men to get the final say so she could get delivered from those two guys that were trying to, you know, accuse her of doing whatnot, right? You know, and they lied on her and shit like that, right? But at the end of the day, what you forget to realize is that she was still had to go to the men to get that help that she needed, you know, so they could pass the proper judgment. Okay. So anywho, it says, 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 11, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. So a woman's supposed to be in silence, man. That's how she's supposed to be. Silent, loving, caring, you know. She's supposed to be in the spirit. But she claims she believes, you know. And that's only by way of a man. The man needs to guide her and instruct her in the right way that she's supposed to be. You know. The way that she's supposed to go, the man's supposed to instruct her, man, in that way. You know. And that's what we're doing. We're instructing our people in righteousness, man. Reprove, rebuke them with all long suffering and doctrine. See, I just want to land back off what the apostle had said in that video, in that particular scripture. Lord, when it's edifying, Shalom.